hey, congratulations for a girl picture.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. How is this film called in Finnish?
It's called Tytöt, Tytöt, Tytöt.
Just like when the title pans across the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it means girls, girls, girls.
Oh, wow. Okay, terrific. Well,
Yeah.
hey, once again, congratulations for Girl Picture, and much more. Congratulations for showcasing this at Sundance Film Festival this year. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's obviously a great honor and privilege to be there. It's the first Finnish feature film that's ever been in competition at Sundance. So there's that extra special treat, and people here in Finland have been excited about that too. But I guess first and foremost, it's validation for this film because, you know, it's a very small story, and it features a world and characters that are not necessarily the top 3 most important topics ever in the world of cinema always, you know, like usually we don't, or historically we haven't necessarily regarded teenage girl stories in very high regard. And I don't think there's any reason not to. So I think it's wonderful that Sundance is saying, hey, they're very welcome in our competition. Why not? It's just as important topic as anything else.
That is true. So what initially attracted you that you wanted to direct this picture?
I guess it's kind of related to just that, you know, that there aren't too many depictions of young women that I could relate to. As a young woman, you know, not anymore, but 20 years ago when I was still a young woman, I would have wanted to watch films that I could identify with. And that was really the main reason why the 2 writers, Ilona and Daniela, who came up with the initial idea, wanted to do this and approached me. So I was attached from treatment stages, and then we developed the story over the course of many years. And so there was this big need to tell a good girl story that could sort of renew maybe the representation of what it is to be a girl a little bit, focus on complex characters so that the characters don't represent one side of a girl's life, but multiple different sides. You know, obviously girls are just as complex as boys, but we're more used to seeing girls that usually like serve the story in one particular way, be it girlfriend or victim of something, or girl who likes to ask questions so boys can answer them, or other things. And I'm not saying that the world doesn't have films like this. I'm not saying we're the first one, but I'm saying there's room for many more.
Well, obviously, but I think this is a refreshing film because there's not too many of these coming of age stories for post-millennial generation. So how did you want to approach, you know, something like this?
The fact that it's for post-millennial, like current day youth.
In current day youth, because it's that perspective. You know, I mean, it's not my generation, and you know,
and not mine either, certainly. Yeah, I'm born in 77. Well, one of the things that we decided early on was that we were not going to try and pander to a young audience. That could only get us to sort of seem and be exactly as old as we are, you know, like they would be like, what is this film made by all these like middle-aged people where they try to seem young, you know, like we weren't going to try to be trendy or use language or fashion that would somehow be exactly today's trends. And that's not even so important. What's important is that the worldview and the characters and how they feel about the world and themselves and each other would reflect how young people would feel it today. At least in Finland, I didn't think too much about how it would travel. You know, you can't cover the whole world, of course. And one of those aspects was exactly questions of representation. I'm sure this is the same in California, but in Finland, young kids are pretty woke. And they, you know, they would have given me such hard notes if we didn't hit the right notes with, for example, how we're presenting sexual orientation as a non-issue. They would have, like my actors would have told me I'm really, really old-fashioned if we had any sort of questions about like if it's okay to like a girl in a movie, you know, or something. And they would absolutely be in like, not today. And how to deal with sexuality, and how sort of people behave with each other. This film, even if it doesn't have much diversity in the three main characters, it has much more diversity in the overall cast than most Finnish films. Another question that always came up, like my first conversation with one of the leading actresses on our first day of rehearsal, she's like, so are you going to cast non-white people in this film, because all three of us look kind of the same, you know? So like they pushed me all the time and like asked the right questions and sort of like upheld the standard. And just to make sure that the way that people behave and talk the right way, of course, I gave them a lot of artistic license and I asked for notes. I said, please, if there's anything in the language that feels outdated or something, change everything and anything. And so we did a lot of that kind of stuff together with them because they are that age and they know what they're talking about.
No, it is true, because when I viewed the film, I found it very realistic and believable, especially the three different personalities of and perspectives of these young women characters, which is a testament to what you did.
Yeah, thanks. Very nice to hear.
So in this case, tell us about finding the three young actors to to fit into these roles.
Yeah, I did a pretty extensive casting process. We started from 154 self-tapes. And we started with self-tapes because the casting started the same week as COVID landed in Finland. So I couldn't really like go around to acting school or anything to do quick auditions. And from the self-tapes, I chose, I think, 50 people who came into actual auditions. And then from those auditions, I did another round of callbacks with like pretty long audition times, and they all read the script and we had conversations about the story. I wanted to make sure that in addition to being really good and charismatic actors, they would fully understand story. And I really wanted them to sort of, or how should I say, I wanted to see that they're comfortable also talking about these topics and what their worldview of them would be, you know, because they have to be quite intimate in the film too. And through that, yeah, I found the three leads like that through the casting. The other actors, I didn't do auditions for because I knew them from different projects. But for these three leads, it was a 3-month process.
Wow. And particularly the young woman who plays the figure skater, what was figure skating a requirement for that?
No, well, I guess the requirement would be that they commit to learning it, because Linnea, who plays that part, she has a background in gymnastics. So she has had like a very sort of athletic youth, but she was not a skater. She had skated in high school, and she was 26 when we shot this. So that was many years ago. And she trained for 3 months for the role. And she does really well with the skating. She doesn't do the jumps, obviously. That's a stunt. But she did everything else, and she really became really quite good. I was very proud of her.
I was gonna say, any actor that could do the triple Lutz would be very, very impressive, but
yeah,
by itself.
Yeah.
What was it out of the three characters? Were there any characters that you particularly related to?
You know, the truth is that I relate to all of them. You know, I kind of like have the drive of Emma, but I'm not athletic at all, not one bit. I'm a couch potato. Then I kind of have like I'm loud and sort of like take room like Rönkkö does, and you know, sort of have similar experiences, I guess, from my youth. And then I think that of the three of them, if one of them was a filmmaker, it would be Mimmi, because she's kind of like the, I don't know, creative mind of the three of them. So I relate to all.
That is great. Well, it's a wonderful picture. So what is next up for you, Alli?
I'm in development with 2 TV shows, and then I have 2 scripts in screenwriting process, in the development hell, for the lack of a better word. So we'll see which one of these gets funded. I'm not fully funded for any of them, so we'll see if one of them or none of them or all of them get made at some point. That I don't know. But the 2 films that I'm working on, they both continue on this journey of female-driven stories. And the TV shows, one is a political thriller and the other is kind of a sci-fi mystery. So I'm excited about those genres.
That is terrific. We do need those more of those in those genres, most definitely. And before I let you go, I found it amusing that the two of the lead characters play, work at a smoothie booth inside a mall, and you folks come up with some of the creative names. I'm curious, what is your favorite smoothie drink?
Ooh, my favorite smoothie from the, you mean the names or like
Or
in real?
real life is fine. You created names left and right.
Yeah. Well, actually, I make a smoothie for my kid, which he calls Pink Ink, which is from a Dr. Seuss book, because there's some character who drinks pink ink. But it's a pink smoothie. It has strawberry, banana, some yogurt, and oat milk. And I make that for my kid, and I have that too. It's called Pink Ink.
There we go. See, we don't have to go. We don't have to go over the top with names, just like in the movie. Well, Alli, it's a pleasure speaking with you about your film Girl Picture. Once again, hey, congratulations for showcasing this at Sundance. I'm sure you're getting a lot of buzz for this film. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nice talking to you. Thank you.